I'm Patricia Delory, she, her, hers, and I am the dialect coach at WPI for the production of Sense and Sensibility. I've been working in dialect coaching and vocal production coaching. I do both. A lot of times both at the same time in the same production, as well as teaching voice and dialects at a conservatory. I primarily work in the theater. I have done some film work, some other kinds of work, but primarily for me, I work in live theater. But whether you work in live theater or in film or television, what you do is very similar, although the medium or media is different. You take a script, you assess where these characters are from. Based on where they're from, you research and find samples of people that are from that exact location. You take the sound, audio, video samples, you pull them apart for the sounds, vowels, consonants, diphthongs, also the musicality of the dialect, the cadence of the voice, the inflection of the voice, train the actors in the sounds, the cadence, the placement of the dialect, like where does it sit in the physicality of the body, particularly in the head, the architecture of the mouth in producing sound, so how that sound might be produced. So I produce what's called a dialect sheet, and that has all the sounds. So I would take a word set and then what the sound becomes in the dialect. And then there are notes where I explain how that sound is produced. And then in the dialect session, I would go through each of the sounds. So for example, when you go to RP, it's ba. So we go over that shift. And then we go through all of the shifts, like no becomes no, thought becomes thought. So I go through every single shift that there is. We learn it, we practice it. I talk about how it's produced in the mouth, what the tongue does, how much space there is in the mouth. Then I have practice sentences that we work on for each of the sound shifts. Sense and Sensibility is working on RP, which is received pronunciation. You could also call it standard British dialect. Now, standard British dialect is a slight variation from, although there are people in very specific locations that speak in standard British, and I'm basing the dialect off those people, it's less a location and more a social class. My experience working with WPI students so far, although it's been limited, is that they are very prepared, very professional, meaning that they're gracious, they're courteous, they listen, they're on time. This may seem like a no-brainer or a simple thing, but it shows that they're dedicated to, it may not be their major, theater may not be their major, but they're dedicated and committed to theater and to exploring what theater has to offer them and bringing theater to an audience. And I'm very admiring of that. Helping the actors to explore this very intimate, important part of character, which I don't think I would be a voice and dialect coach if I didn't feel that as humans and as storytellers, as actors, that the voice and the dialect aren't the greatest thing we have to bring the audience to our story through our voices and through our dialects. Because a dialect is simply, in the most simple terms, a part of character. It's who you are. It's a part of who you are. And that's really important to me, to help the actor to explore that and find that. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Bye.